Alrighty, so let's set the stage here. So this is a castle siege from today, August 7th. Basically, we are attacking, and if you look here, the character that I'm playing, Lord Omega, I also have Ender SM and Energy BK, which are the first three characters in the party towards the top, as you can see here. Alrighty, and real quick, I want to bring this up here. It was brought to my attention that, one of the persons in the Midgard chat mentioned that, hey, what happens if it's just the client? Well, the three characters that you see here, Lord Omega, Ender SM, and Energy BK, they are actually all three my characters. The Energy BK is actually located on another computer. The Ender SM and the Lord Omega are actually on the same computer. This allows me to switch between my DL and my SM in case my DL dies or gets blinded. I can switch to my SM. But my BK is on a totally different computer. However, they're both within my home, so they both have the same public IP address. So you're gonna see throughout this video situations where only two of the three may DC, where if it's my DL and my BK DC, but my SM is perfectly fine, my SM is on the same computer as my DL. So if it was a client issue, it would have DC'd my DL and my SM, not my BK. Because he's on a different computer. So I just wanted to point that out here, and we're just going to move on. So what we're going to explain here is an issue that happens when a BK basically DC bugs us. What essentially happens is during their combo, the third strike of the combo DCs everyone in its range. But it only happens with certain BKs here. So we're going to pause it here and look at these particular BKs. None of these BKs here are a problem here. So if we go ahead and play this, we can see that, I bite it. So that's not a big deal. This isn't a bad kill at all, but if you look at the names there, it's not a problem. So right now I'm getting ready to be summoned back. And this is where we start to see the problem. So I get summoned back here, and it's the exact same BKs that were there before. But if you look here, now is where I DC. And if you look at the name there in the corner, it is Meliodas. Now, my recorder, because I'm playing multiple characters, it'll switch between whichever account is currently available. So if my DL DCs, it'll switch to my SM, and then so on and so forth. So if you look at that combo there, if we just move back, and we look at that combo, if basically he DC'd everyone in a straight line. So my BK and my DL were in a straight line, and thus he DC'd both of them. However, my SM was off to the side, thus he did not get DC'd. So we believe that the issue may be caused by the pets that drop from the core boss, the Repin, the Pawn, and the Grippus. And that may be what is causing it. Maybe it's extending the range so much so that it bugs the character whenever they combo, because it looks like the feature can be turned off and on. So we would have, an hour where none of us get DC'd, and all of a sudden we all start getting DC'd as we get closer to capping. But it is not dependent on a particular guild or anything like that. It happened to all guilds that were trying to cap, and basically all you have to do is combo the main GM, the one that's actually trying to cap the throne, and game over. Because when you get DC'd, you lose all your time and you come back with no time. So simply just go for the person with the crown on its head, and you pretty much win the game. And this has been happening for quite some time now, at least 2 to 3 months. It's very difficult to catch, because generally whenever you get this issue, you usually get DC'd out of the game. It just so happened that I happened to be recording, and it switched to my other character. I didn't realize that it was actually doing that when I went back over the video. So we can look at another example right now. Alrighty, and as for this one here, this is our guildmate, iPeaches. And as you can see, she's getting summoned here, and immediately she DCs. And if you look there, it is the surprise Meliodas. And what it's not to say, that they're hacking or something like that, but they're using something that can be turned on and off that is making it so that as soon as they combo, they DC everyone in that range. Regardless if they had the SD to survive it or not, they're just DCing everyone, and it makes it completely unplayable. We haven't been able to cap, nor has anyone really been able to cap in 2 to 3 months because of this, because every time you get ready to cap, this happens. Either they do it to the stampers that are holding the switches, or they do it to the DL that's actually trying to cap the throne, and it's ridiculous. It makes the game completely unplayable, and it needs to be fixed. This is ridiculous. And if it's happening in Midgard, it can happen in all servers, and this really needs to be looked into. So hopefully this video helps you try to figure out exactly what's happening here, because it makes CS, the biggest thing that you have, completely and utterly unplayable. Thank you. This is Anthony. You guys have a good one.